Have a seat, let's chat. This is my new series where if you have a question for me, leave it down below. I'm going to be answering questions in short video style form to give you just a new thing that I want to do here, some advice, some tips, some feedback, and my opinion on things. So if you have a question for me, if you have a generalized homeschool question, mom life question, have it down below. I'm ready to talk about it, and let's just grab a drink and let's chat. So the question today is what and how, maybe not what, just how do I choose the right curriculum for my child? Homeschooling is no joke. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is so rewarding and can be so amazing if you just find your flow, your routine, the right curriculum, the right way you want to lead your homeschool. Homeschooling is not just about sitting at this table and reading from a textbook. Let's just get that out of the way. Homeschooling goes way deeper. You are homeschooling because you want to form a bond with your child. You want to have the freedom and the flexibility to go places and do things and step out into the world and go on those field trips every week that they might not get to do in a public school situation. You have to exercise those rights of being in your homeschool, getting out there and being creative and finding out what kind of family you are, what kind of homeschool family you want to create. Do you want to be adventurous? Do you want to have a different homeschool style? Do you want to be traditional where you want to sit down and have textbooks from every course? Or do you want to step out of the box and be an unschooler where you are completely child-led and you follow their every move into what they have an interest for? Gather those resources from the library, gather those books, and go with the flow. There are lots of ways that you can find the perfect curriculum for your family. My advice or tip is to observe. You're going to want to observe your child, especially if you are in public school and you're coming out of public school. You need to find that fresh time of start to just like fresh time of start. I cannot talk today, guys. You want to find that special place where their eyes light up. You want to see what makes them excited, how they learn. Start taking learning style quizzes. Are they an auditory learner, a visual learner, a kinesthetic learner? How do they learn? Because that should play a role into how you find your curriculum. Now, if you're starting out, a lot of people will gravitate towards an all-in-one curriculum. That was me. I started with The Good and the Beautiful, and it was amazing for us. It taught me how to do school. It taught me how I could teach my child easy to manage, all household type items for anything that I needed. It was free, first of all, because The Good and the Beautiful is what we did, and they offered it for free as a PDF, or you could purchase the actual physical copies of the book. So you have to really figure out how, and to do that you just have to observe. Find out how your kid learns, what they do best. Are they a workbook kind of kid? Are they not? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And you have to kind of tailor that to what you're observing. I know it's so easy to get caught up in all the pretty things and want to buy all the things. If you could see, I have a whole room of all the pretty shiny things that I have purchased. But you have to be realistic. What is your budget? How do you want to figure this out? You have to use your mind a little bit, and like I said, observe, because you're going to find the most information in your observations. You're going to say, okay, you know what? We don't need to do this right now. We need to focus on this subject or this curriculum, or you know what, we haven't done this curriculum thus far and I need to focus on this subject. It's really easy to see all the options out there, but you have to go, okay, what kind of family am I? Are we early risers? Are we going to want a very structured, in-depth curriculum, like say something like Oak Meadow or a Becca, or those really high-priced curriculums that offer all the books under the sun. Are you going to have time to sit there and go through all of that as a family? Maybe you have 5 kids, maybe you have 1. You have to figure out what works best for you. Maybe you're a working mom, so you might have to find something that's more independently structured for your child, or that leaves it less teacher heavy or teacher intensive for you to do. You have to find what works best, but there's no right or wrong. I think there's a very there's a saying out there that like it's so bad for you to hop through curriculum. It's not. You break the rules. There are no rules. You find out your state rules. That's what's gonna really help you most. Is finding out what is required of you by your state, and go from there. Like, you make the rules in your homeschool. If you decide that you need something that's more unit study based, and you can do that style in your homeschool, where it's kind of like an all-in-one, but it's unit studies. So like, you could still incorporate some of your core things, but maybe you're just talking about zoology, or maybe you're just talking about the Holocaust. There could be a million different things that you could focus your school around. So that really depends on your family. Don't think that you need to do all the things. You just have to figure out what it is that you want to do and how you can incorporate it for your child. Likely, if you have an idea, there's an option out there for you. Take the stress off your shoulders, release some breaths, and just realize it's okay. If I pick the wrong curriculum, I'm gonna find the right one. Or maybe you're going to come to the conclusion that you want to make your own. There are so many options out there. You have to start somewhere, but I highly suggest starting with where your child is at. What are their interests right now? How can you make it as interest-led so that they retain that information the most? If you have any questions for me, leave them down below. I hope this solved a little bit. I hope I didn't make you even crazier in your thinking process. But I would love to hear any of your thoughts, opinions, questions, all in the comments down below. And I'll see you in my next chit chat.